Real Talk Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by The Hour.
Wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. Booty Now Live is celebrating the Enigma Hour. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this man went to New Japan, defended the Real Talk Wrestling Podcast World Heavyweight Champion, and he came out with another title. Two titles. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the greatest world champion in Real Talk history, Enigma.
Hello. How is you people doing tonight?
Enigma,
How's it
welcome
going,
to. It's going good. Enigma, welcome to Bleed Out Live. It's an honor.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to have you with a man with two titles. The IWGP title for your successful defense at New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 12, and the Real Talk World Heavyweight Championship. See, not last time we had a great world champion was. Hold on, give me a. No, Reaper. He didn't do nothing with the belt. Who was the? I'm trying to think of. No, Prodigy was terrible as champion.
No.
He's a 3-time loser. Come on, Enigma. You're probably the first person to bring prestige into that Real Talk World title. And I need to ask you. You know what? I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to say, Enigma, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you once again for having me. Where do I begin? Maverick wants to talk around here, walking around talking about his championship opportunity. It's coming at Fastlane, it's coming at the Rumble, about his crusade, about whatever. But there's something that, I know I'm not in good terms with Reaper, but something that Reaper did say, to start off a crusade, you need to get a win. And as far as I recall, the last time Maverick got a W was, when was Prodigy's last title reign?
Wait, he had a title reign?
Oh, alright, sorry, prehistoric time, sorry.
No, I'm not familiar with that. Hey, I'm the guy of Real Talk. I'm not even familiar with that era of Prodigy winning. It's not even a sentence.
But I launched a crusade. I, if anybody, is the real crusader of Real Talk Wrestling. You guys gave me the Money in the Bank briefcase. I held it for such a long time. I saw my opportunity. As far as people want to say it was an infamous night, the day that I cashed in, yes or no, I don't care what it was. I came out the new world champion. You guys gave me that belt, and what did I do with it? I ran off. Not into the sunset, just like most people do. I ran off, and I defended it. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times. Around 6, 7, 8 times in different states, in different countries. And how do the people here in Real Talk Wrestling Podcast treat me? With disrespect. I had 2 belts. I lost one of them. Still retained the Real Talk. I ventured off, defended it again, and again. And then, like a fucking lightning bolt from the sky, an opportunity fell. An opportunity to, for the first time ever, defend the Real Talk Wrestling Heavyweight Championship at another promotion, at another podcast, at another pay-per-view. Now, everybody wants to sit here talking about, my WrestleMania moment. Well, guess what I had? I had my Wrestle Kingdom moment. I went off, and I not only successfully defended the Real Talk Wrestling Heavyweight Championship again, but I came out your new DTWP World Heavyweight Champion. That's 2 belts. And I come back, and there's only one thing that I'm ready for, and that's to defend my world championship yet again, to bring more prestige and more numbers to it. At Royal Rumble, I have officially have officially set my championship on the line against Booty Dust. And whether he wants to write a final chapter to his sorry-ass excuse for a movie or whatever type of genre of novel he's ready to fucking write, I am going to end it. And I am going to defend. You know what? If it makes him feel better, I'll put both championships on the line. I'm not afraid of anything. Both championships on the line at the Royal Rumble. And I'm ready for Booty Dust. That's as much as I gotta say.
Enigma, do you mind if your words, your actions are beautiful. Enigma, I haven't seen somebody try to bring prestige to a title, to a championship, since I was feuding with Providence for the IC title. Your words, your actions, they speak for themselves. Look, you can say whatever they want, but you know me. I was the one who made sure that you knew I have full faith in you defending that title in New Japan. I was the one to say Enigma will win and walk out with two titles. Enigma, you are the best world champion in history. You are better than the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. You are better than Okada. Heck, you're better than the TNA World. You know what? I'm gonna say it. You're better than the phenomenal AJ Styles. Enigma, I'm gonna be the first to say it. I apologize for calling you a horseman, cause that was insulting to you. Calling you a horseman. I realize that. You're more than a horseman. You're an enigma. You're the best thing about the Real Talk World title right now. Now, for what you said, it does. I don't completely agree. I think you're asking for too much. But Enigma, I like to say ICP champion on day 76 of the never-ending IC tour. I know how you feel about working from bringing a belt that was treated like garbage and bringing it back to its prestige. When Youngblood, the beautiful, held that title, he tarnished its legacy. And now you're rebuilding it. Just like how when the Eye of Providence held his ICP title, he's tarnished the legacy of this belt. And now I'm bringing prestige. Enigma, I thank you for bringing prestige back to that Real Talk World Heavyweight Championship.
All I gotta say is watch your backs, because I'm not going anywhere.
Jesus fucking Christ. Are we done with the dick sucking? I mean, hey, okay, so you had a title and you lost it. So wait, you lost? Oh, that's nice. You know what? First, I want to say congratulations to Heat. The only person in LAX who has the ability to win. Not tie, win. Not take over the real rigged coin toss. No. Win. You didn't beat me. Booty God, you didn't really beat Providence, and that's pretty pathetic. To not be able to beat fucking Providence? Part-time bitch. You couldn't even beat him. Okay, you had to take the by way of forfeit.
And
because he's not bothering with you.
I made him leave.
Yeah.
It
was such a... You want to talk about... Let's talk about your world title right for a second here. What, 2, 3 days?
9 days, yes. Until Prodigy betrayed me with a coin flip.
9 fucking days.
Yes, Prodigy betrayed me with the coin flip, yes.
And as for all these mysterious defenses, oh, yeah, that's great, yeah. Sure you did, buddy.
You know what's funny? Youngblood?
I defended the belt 1,000,000 times. Yeah, right? Yeah, right. Why not? You want to make up shit now?
And you know what's funny,
No.
Enigma? When I lost to the world title with a coin flip, did I cry? Did I bitch about it? No. You know what I did?
No, because
I made headlines.
You didn't have to deal with it. Because you didn't get the thing stolen from you. You chose to allow a coin flip to decide the most prestigious thing in this contest. You allowed a coin to decide that. Why don't we just decide everything with a coin flip? Hey, how about this? Should we do episode 61? Let's flip a coin. No? Okay, I guess we're done here. See, because that's the thing. You won't know when, but I will take this over if I don't get what I want. I'm out of here.
Look, as much as I would love to agree with Booty God on this shit, my partner does have a point. Booty God, yes, when you lost your title to Coin Flip, you didn't bitch, but here's the thing. That's because you were willing to sacrifice.
Come on. Sacrifice what? Come
Oh,
on,
I
you
was
want to cut
reading
up?
what the fuck- Yeah, I was reading what the fuck you put in the fucking chat.
Hey.
Hey, since you can't keep my name out of your fucking mouth, Booty God.
I mean,
Yeah, so, yeah, you were willing to sacrifice what you had to try and put over your tag partner at the time, and I can respect that. I mean, I did the same thing, pretty much. But here's the kicker. Me and my partner were not willing to give up what we had. And you can go around and say, oh, Youngblood made the world title a joke. Yet for some reason, you can't keep his name out of your fucking mouth. Every time you bring up a world title reign, I mean, the last I checked, if something was forgettable, you sure as hell don't fucking mention it in the conversation. I mean, yeah, it's really hard to forget something if you keep bringing it up. But that's besides the point.
like
That's
your world title run. Okay.
Yeah, that's besides the point. That's neither here nor there. I'm actually going to do something. Jimmy, I want to say congratulations on your victory at Wrestle Kingdom. But, and this is a huge but here, there's something that I need to address with you and your partners. Now, last week, I brought up something. I want my rematch, and I gave you a week to think about it and determine exactly what that rematch would require. So I'm here for my answer.
You know what? As far as I'm concerned right now, I'm busy holding other necessary gold around my waist. I'm busy carrying other responsibility on my shoulder. But I'll tell you one thing. As far as your rematch, it's on. You want us that badly? It's on. But stipulations are not yet final.
The only stipulation I want is to make sure that there is, without a shadow of a doubt, a victor in a way that doesn't require us to have a tiebreaker, a coin toss, or whatever. If you are going to beat us, I want you to beat us. I'm not going to say that, and I admit, I kind of took it too far trying to strip you of the titles if you didn't beat us. But that's the thing. I'm not going to settle for a tie.
Like I said, I accepted the rematch. It's on. But I won't be fighting that battle. I'll leave that up to my tag partner. They'll decide if they want to accept the stipulation or not. That's not up to me. But as far as the match, it's on. I'll give you it since you guys are so desperately fighting for it. It's on. Before I say farewell, there's another point that I want to bring up. Because everybody wants to talk about coin flips and who's bitching and who's not bitching. But it seems to be that we forgot one more coin flip in the history book. It's the one where Prodigy lost the heat at Mania. The Prodigy bitch? No.
Wait, Prodigy won something?
Yeah, he was actually world champion once, if you didn't know.
Because of me. And what happened? Lost it. No.
See,
But,
that's the thing, though, Enigma. You guys don't have to bitch because ultimately, in the end, you don't care. Me and Hunter, or Youngblood, held our titles with such prestige that we ultimately felt whoever beat us should have beaten us. Like, in the grand scheme of things, you are right. There have been people who have lost their titles by coin flip, but that's the difference between us and them. We don't accept people saying they're better than us off of a technicality. If you want to prove you're better than us, beat us. It's simple as that. Which is why I ultimately cannot say that in a single aspect that I am better than you. Because the last time I said I was better than you, you beat me. So you have given that right to prove that you are better than me. But when it comes to the world title and the tag team titles, when you really get down to it, you really didn't beat us.
Whatever you say, man. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to enjoy my victory. I'm going to enjoy my other victory because now I have two precious belts to take care of. And yeah, I mean, championship is at the end of the day. I will defend my championship, like I already mentioned. I will be facing Davey Dust. I'm going to shut his trap once and for all. He said he beat Maverick. I mean, who hasn't beaten Maverick?
Who?
But
Because he won't face me because he's a bitch.
well, if that feels like it deserves him another championship opportunity, which I guess I did rain on his parade or whatever parade he planned to do, and I will defend it. I'm going to bash his fucking face in, and I will end this feud once and for all because I am done dealing with kids who play in the dirt and paint their faces. I'll see Booty Dust at Royal Rumble, and I'm out.
Oh. Well, Bleeding Down Live is sponsored by the Enigma Hour. Thank you for joining us.
Alright, so for another first time history in the Real Talk Wrestling podcast, we will be reviewing something other than a WWE pay-per-view or WWE showing. We are going to be talking about Wrestle Kingdom 12. The only pay-per-view of the year that is, in my opinion, what would you guys say? Like a little bit hyper than Mania, a little bit less.
I mean, the hype for Wrestle Kingdom was I would say the hype for Wrestle Kingdom was probably more hype than I don't want to say 17, but I'll say WrestleMania 17. But I'll say the hype was bigger than probably WrestleMania's.
Okay. I mean, well, once again, I mean, we have to say a huge thanks to Chris Jericho, I guess, for boosting. I mean, it did skyrocket Wrestle Kingdom's 12 attendance record and sales venue and everything around the world. Thanks to Jericho and his surprise return to New Japan. Wrestle Kingdom 12 has profited over $32 million just on the 4th. And that's not including people who, subscribe to NJPW World just to, watch days afterwards. But enough of that for now, as we're going to go down the card for a bit. So we got the first card, and well, it's actually the pre-show, which is the NJPW Rumble, which is basically our Royal Rumble. Just a few different rules. Instead of this one just being eliminated over the top rope, you can actually get pinned to get eliminated. As far as the Rumble, it wasn't as hyped as a few years before, as we had big names inside and big names winning it. It's kind of underrated this year, so just the fact that it was in the pre-show, I actually enjoyed it.
Now, Jimmy, if you don't mind me cutting you off there, Hunter brought up a good question. Do you think WWE should take part of this Royal Rumble? And what I mean by take part, what he said, should WWE have something similar to this for their Royal Rumble?
So, like what, getting pinned and stuff?
Yeah, like you can have the pinfalls to get eliminated. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, it brings more, you know, it puts more ideology in the danger, you know, of being in it, you know,
So I'm going to, not to cut you off again, but I'm going to shock the system here. I'm going to tell you that I think I think it would be better if they don't do it. I think, yeah, because hear me out. This is how I see it. That's what makes the Wrestle Kingdom, like New Japan, unique. Them doing that. If WWE
Doing what? I missed something.
We were talking about your idea of about WWE doing the Wrestle Kingdom Rumble. Yeah, I feel like if WWE does it, it's just basically a obvious ripoff, and it makes both of their Rumbles not unique. Like that's why I like the Wrestle Kingdom Rumble. It makes it feel prestigious and unique, and then the WWE Royal Rumble feels prestigious and unique. So I just feel like, in all honesty, I feel like they should just keep they're both separate. New Japan does their Rumble, WWE does their Rumble, and they don't, copy each other. Now,
yeah, of course.
I mean, maybe one day they'll do it, but I'd rather it be like once in the blue moon, like not like once a year like Royal Rumble, but like maybe a one-time a SmackDown Battle Royal or a Raw Battle Royal or something like that. But I feel like New Japan should be the only company that does that because it makes them unique, and it gives me a different It gives me a different feeling. It gives me a different feeling that I'm watching something unique, and that's what New Japan should do. Keep it, make them unique.
Of course. I mean, it brings more shock factor, because you can be worrying about, throwing someone over the top rope, and then all of a sudden, someone's trying to, roll you up for a quick pin or something. Finishers mean more inside the NJPW Rumble because that can actually get you eliminated. Unlike, WWE, where you have to throw him over the top rope after you hit him with a finisher. But
I've got it. Oh, sorry. I want to discuss something about this match. This match broke my heart. Okay, I am a mega fan of Cheeseburger. I seen him coming in, and I'm like, no. And I knew right there, I was like, he's not gonna win. And he's getting down to the final four, and I'm like, no. And then he gets down to the final two, and I'm going, yes. Oh.
I heard the rumor that Cheeseburger's gonna win next year's Royal Rumble. But that was just a rumor, so I don't know how true it is.
I was disappointed.
Yeah, my counterpart, my opponent at Wrestle Kingdom, he almost chose Cheeseburger to win the Rumble, but yeah.
Hey, look, it's not like he's the most technically savvy, but he's got so much heart that, in my opinion, he is the real ultimate underdog.
No, that would be James Ellsworth.
Nah, Cheeseburger's got a lot more than Ellsworth. Man, I was disappointed Jeff Cobb wasn't in the Rumble.
Because every man with two hands has a fighting chance.
Yo, low key, I think if James Ellsworth went to New Japan, I think he'll skyrocket.
Would lose pretty quickly. Cheeseburger always puts up a fight, even though he hardly ever wins. He always is putting up a hell of a fight in it. Yeah, just look at his ROH work.
But yeah, no, going back to it though, I mean, just the Rumble this year hasn't been too hyped as other years, but the next match that we're going to talk about immediately started off Wrestle Kingdom with a frickin' bang, as we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title was on the line with the Young Bucks versus Roppongi 3K.
All right, and
immediate Bullet Club.
And this is the Young Bucks, seventh title reign in that promotion?
Seventh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Love the match.
The match was great. The match was actually really freaking good.
I mean, it's not like it's a surprise.
Oh yeah, no. Whenever you have Matt and Nick, I mean, they're super kick.
I mean,
super kick.
The Bucks of Youth. Come on.
Super kick. the young fucks, you know, and especially, you know, you had Kevin Kelly fucking calling the match, of course, you know, super kick. But
I want to discuss something real quick. What do you think is the better New Japan team, commentator team? JR and Barnett, or the ones they have doing the live shows?
I'm gonna say JR because and Burnett because I love Kevin Kelly as an announcer. But yet again, sometimes he
I don't watch
announces.
it enough. I don't watch New Japan to know the name of the announcer. Is he the
Well,
color
no.
commentator?
Actually, no. The English announcers for Wrestle Kingdom this year are the announcers for Ring of Honor. Kevin Kelly and that.
No, it is Kevin Kelly. Yes. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's the guy. I loved it. I love their now.
Yeah, I mean the commentary for some of the matches just kind of, to be honest, made me want to go to sleep. The matches were good, but just the commentary just like was a boner killer for me.
I loved it.
No. Kevin Kelly was doing good, but it was just at times. It was like at certain times where it's supposed to be more hyped. It was just like so underhyped.
The only matches where they fell flat for me was the hair versus hair and what I consider the one real bad match, only bad match on the card, the tag championship with Sonata and Evil versus, I can't even remember who they faced, to be honest. But this match, let's just some of those great spots in it. Matt fucking sold that back injury so well.
Of course, it was a super kick party. I mean, it was left and right. I mean, it was really good. Of course,
That powerbomb on
the powerbomb.
Dude, that was thick.
Indie Taker. But yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, the Young Bucks won their 7th, which makes them officially better than Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan only won 6 NBA championships, but the Young Bucks have 7.
Now, are the Young Bucks better than the Dudley Boys?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, that depends. They're counting it as 7 IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships, and they have 7 more than the Dudley Boys in that. I don't think Bubba Ray has ever been junior anything.
I mean, he brought
those cheeseburgers.
I was just about to say a double junior cheeseburger, right?
Chill, you are bullying Bully Ray.
I'm bullying a bully.
Hey, I'm just following the lead of my man Tommy Dreamer.
Well, I'm actually glad you mentioned Tommy Dreamer, because Tommy Dreamer and Bubba Ray Dudley and I forgot who was their tag team partner that were recently involved in a 6-man tag team championship opportunity at Ring of Honor's final battle. But since we're speaking 6-man tag team championships, we are moving on to the gauntlet match for the never open weight 6-man tag team championship.
Okay, you watch more New Japan than I do. Can you explain that definition? What does that mean?
Never open weight?
Yeah.
Anybody can go in, right?
Never. The word never means, you know, it's just the name of the division, you know. So, you know, that's just the name of the division. It's it's called the never division. But the open weight, just basically what it says. I mean, you know how they're sectioned off into heavyweight championships and junior heavyweight championships. Well, never open weight is the one championship where anybody from any weight class can actually fight for it. And then
I'm trying to look really far into it in the literal sense. I'm like, okay, open weight would mean that it's open to any weight class, but if it's never open to any weight class,
exactly. Yeah, no,
getting wrapped around it kind of fight.
Yeah, no, it's a little trickery. Yeah, no, but that's the name of the division. It's just because you can't really, basically, just think about it like the ECW championship, if anything, because you have, you know, the World Heavyweight Championship, but that division needs its, you know, top belt, so you know they can't name it the World Championship as well. So it's just a never open weight.
You know, I kind of wish that Roppongi Vice back with Romero and Treporetta. I wish that instead of them, instead of Beretta moving on the heavyweight tag, I wish that the two of them would go together into the never open weight instead. Because Trent Beretta is good, but I don't feel he's as good outside of Roppongi Vice. Your thoughts?
My bad, I'm back. Yeah, I agree.
Like in this gauntlet match, he wasn't nearly as good as when I last seen him with Roppongi Vice.
Alright, so we had, I'm going to just mention off the teams because a few of these names actually are very known. I don't really remember the order of the...
It was, first was War Machine and Elgin going off against Zack Sabre Jr.,
Suzuki Gun, Tai Chi. Yes, it was Suzuki Gun, Tai Chi, Takashi Izuki, and Zack Sabre Jr.
Sabre Jr.
and that's
we had other.
they didn't sign him.
Then of course we had the Bullet Club, Tamatanga, Tongaloa, and Bad Luck Fale. We had fucking Taguchi Japan, which is and of course the eventual winners of Chaos, which is my boy Trent Beretta. Fine Trent. Remember who remembers that from WWE real quick?
What, Trent Beretta?
You didn't answer my question. Do you agree with me?
CJ Bud? NXT?
Wait, Trent Beretta?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That Trent Beretta.
Wait, what was the question? Agree about Trent Beretta about what? Because I know he's doing big days in Japan.
Said that he's not near as good as he was when he was with Long Device.
I don't know if I can answer that because I'm not too familiar with that. I do know.
Back when see, what happened was Beretta was moving up a weight class,
Right.
and so he could no longer compete with Rocky Romero in the junior heavyweights.
Oh, so they broke up the
split
tag
team
team.
up.
That sucks.
Oh, speaking of teams, I know this is not in New Japan, but it's got in my head. What is your opinion on the Best Friends?
Wait, who are the best friends? This is. Ooh.
No, I mean like that's the team name.
No, yeah, who are they?
When you have no idea.
I don't know, but I'm
Ring
really.
of Honor now.
Is Ring of Honor? Oh.
But they had their Roppongi Vice's last match was against the Best Friends.
See, I'm just really excited because this is something other than WWE, and I'm really excited to talk about this and listen to this and put an opinion on this.
Speaking of Ring of Honor and all that stuff, did anybody hear about War Machine and?
Oh, and Ricochet?
Yeah, Ricochet.
Okay, yeah, Ricochet. If he's around,
Ricochet's been kind of there with WWE because he's been in the training performance center.
the question is he going to be in 205?
His girlfriend's hot. So just gotta say.
And War Machine. That's why nobody. That was the issue with them being in the title match because you knew they weren't going to win the match. That was another thing I have against this match because you had them in there, and so you already could eliminate them in your mind.
Oh, I already have, if they go to NXT, I already have my own headcanon for their fucking shit.
Let me guess, Authors of Pain?
No, team them with fucking Heavy Machinery and just call them Heavy War Machinery.
So for like a big stable?
Yeah. Just a 4 minute.
I feel like they put that much weight. I don't know, that much weight in the ring, it might collapse.
I mean, we had Big Show and Mark Henry in the ring.
Yeah, and that's not as much. Like, quite a bit. It's because you gotta think, Heavy Machinery, I believe they said their combined weight was 750, 800 pounds. And then you have War Machine, which is like another 600.
The ring can hold it. But you also have to, okay, because like consider this, Hunter. When you have the Rumble match, right? And you have
I wasn't being serious about it collapsing.
well, I'm just saying, if anybody thinks that you are being serious, it wouldn't collapse. Because when you have the Rumble match, you have like 200, maybe.
You had like 30 men in the ring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously not that many at once, but
Yeah. So.
I would just like to let everyone in the audience know I'm holding on to a pretty pink for JJ.
But what
Wait,
match
back?
was on now?
Alright, but yeah, no, so yeah, this finished with Beretta pinning Tonga at the end. You know, they beat the Bullet Club. But it was a great. I mean, it wasn't.
It was
bad
great.
match.
Let's not
It was
be.
pretty. Yeah, no, it was pretty.
Decent at best.
There was action, but the next match was actually a phenomenal match, in my opinion.
Before we move on, now I do agree with Beretta getting the pin because in that match, the only person in their team to really look like they were actually doing anything was Beretta. Beretta broke up every pin attempt. I mean, it was hit. He single-handedly beat the club, in my opinion.
I mean, Beretta has grown like growth over the years. That's great.
Massive.
Didn't he? Okay, I was trying to remember. He used to be in WWE, but I can't remember who he teamed with because I know he was part of a tag team.
Fuck, I forgot.
Wait, he was in a tag team?
Yeah, somebody team was Team Beretta.
On
He was
the
on
new
ECW in that tag team. Right?
And WWECW.
Yeah, the crappy ECW.
And we had Christian, so I want to say it was crappy.
It was crappy. It was
Right,
awful.
so shifting on, like I said,
Ooh, we about to end the Enigma hour with that comment.
the next match was freaking, in my opinion, phenomenal. It was actually a really good match. Kota Ibushi versus Cody Rhodes.
Like, I gotta be the one to say it. That fucking crossroad off the apron.
Oh yeah, that was. Woo!
I was like, he's dead. You killed him. Oh my god, they killed Coda!
I immediately thought back to Coda's neck injury, and I hope that didn't re-aggravate anything in his fucking neck.
That was part of why I thought I was like, oh my god, they killed him. I was one of those moments. It's like, holy shit, is he dead?
Yeah, Coda took that like a boss. But overall, the match was freaking amazing. I like the part where he kind of kicked Cody off the apron and he fell onto his wife Brandy for a bit, and then Coda actually felt pity for her and like picked her up, and then he just gets
that whole bit was great. One thing I'm glad that they did. It has nothing really to do with the match. Just my own personal thing is the fact that they explained why he's blonde now. Because seriously, what the fuck? I was just like blown away because of how bad it looked. Like, and then they kept the blonde look, but apparently it's for a movie role that he's doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, all right, I guess I can make sense of that. Because God, it looks stupid.
It looks bad, but just think about this too in more perspective. Coda could have been our new Ring of Honor World Champion without even being part of Ring of Honor. As he,
To be fair, I don't believe Cody's actually signed with Ring of Honor. He's signed with New Japan, so that's... Yeah, he's signed as New Japan, not Ring of Honor anyway, so... I'm glad that Cody's not champion because it's my boy, Dalton Castle.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
That's it. We're done here.
is the Enigma hour over?
No, it is not. If anything, Youngblood could leave.
Ooh.
But
Technically, we haven't even been here an hour, so he
Well-
still has what, like 22 minutes left?
Pretty much.
About 20, technically.
All right. Well, great match. Another match though that Bullet Club did lose. Ibushi did pin Cody with the after he hit a pretty good Phoenix splash. But first match of the night was for the IWGP Tag Team Championships, which was Los Ignorables de Japón, Evil and Sonata versus Killer Elite Squad, which a familiar name that you WWE fans might know, Davey Boy Smith Jr.
For all the talent in this match, for it to not have been a good match, because honestly, that was the worst match of the night, in my opinion. It's so disappointing.
It wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was, in my opinion, it was pretty decent. I liked it. It was good. Of course, had Evil and Sonata defeating Killer Elite Squad to become the new champions. As for the first time in Wrestle Kingdom, we've had 3 title changes to start off the night, which was beyond. But yeah, pretty decent match. I'm not really gonna get into it too much because it could have been better. It could have been worse. We move on to the 5th match, which was a hair versus hair match, which I don't know why, because fucking Minoru Suzuki didn't even have that much hair to begin with.
Yeah, but his hair is supposed to be iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, you see those freaking locks of hair that Hiroki Goto had? Like, God, fuck. That would have sucked to lose, but yeah, it was for the Never Openweight Championship.
I want to give respect to the idea that, because, you know, the villain does usually lose these type things, and then, you know, the hero has to chase them back and get them down there to do it. The fact his team tried to get him away, and then once he figures out what's going on, he's like, no, I'll man the fuck up and do it. And instead of not even does Goto shave him himself like normal hair versus hair, he goes and does it himself. Like, yep, I got this coming to me. I just offered this up. I'll take it.
Yeah, it was really sportsmanlike, you know. As you know, we've seen in like WWE and hair versus hair matches, you know, Vince try to like get away, and then Stone Cold and yada yada yada, and you know, Stone Cold shaved his head with Bobby. Then in the Rey Mysterio and CM Punk storyline, where yeah, I mean everything was pretty much, you know, chased down. Villain tries to get away at last second, yada yada yada. But you know, Minoru Suzuki manned up, sat down on the chair, and shaved his own head. Well, whatever was left of his head.
You know, I gotta say though, taking back to all these hair versus hair moments, everybody who's had to shave their head, their careers tend to end up skyrocketing afterwards.
Yep. Well, now we got the best 6 matches.
Angle without with hair versus angle without hair.
What about Test? Test, he got a haircut, and he was not world champion. Just
That's true.
Test is an exception, and you can make an argument that Punk is an exception.
I'd like to say Punk was always over with or without hair. Punk would have been is still over.
That's why I said you can make the argument that he was, because you can say he had his 434-day reign after he was shaved. But unlike everyone else, he didn't like keep shaving it to keep it a clean shave.
Nah, I mean.
Oh, worst head shave is definitely Vince.
Well, you know, now that I think about it, you know who also had a head shave? I mean, and actually did pretty good for himself? Randy Orton.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
Head shave Randy Orton was probably the worst Randy Orton in my eyes.
He looked ugly as fuck.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, head shave Orton.
The best Orton is, as far as like the way that it looked like the vicious competitor, was the Legend Killer style. Now it looks like it's trying to transition back into that whole slight cut look, and it just looks bad considering he's not young anymore.
I mean, it looks good to me, to be honest.
Yeah, that's good. Well, once again, moving on, we have the last 4 matches, which are the best 4 matches on the card. As we got, well, we're going to start off with
Match of night.
we got the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship being defended. Well, the champion at the time, Marty Scurll, the villain, versus the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay, versus the boy, Kushida, and my boy with the luscious hair, Hiromu Takahashi.
And don't forget Daryl was there, but he was in disguise.
Yep.
That was great. The fact that Daryl had a mask on.
Oh yeah, that shit was funny.
I popped for that shit.
But
And
Marty
especially
Scurll,
the reasoning of, well, he's probably wearing a mask so that Alex Foley doesn't see him. I'm like, yes, this is headcanon.
Marty Scurll, great tactics. The match was great. Lots of kicking, freaking loud super kick noises, jumping off of tall shit. It was a great match. It was action all around.
Will Girl countering Ospreay seemingly at every corner.
That part where Ospreay and Scurll actually worked together.
Oh my god! I kept saying, this is fucking scary. This is wrong. This is wrong.
I just want to point out the fact that out of everybody that actually did predictions for this pay-per-view, I was the only one that actually picked Ospreay to win.
Me and Heath both say we wanted to take Ospreay, but we're trying to go with the safe bet.
Didn't Jimmy's opponent pick Ospreay?
Whenever we talked about discussing this on the podcast, this is the one that I wanted to hype up because you cannot undervalue this. Will Ospreay pinned Marty Scurll. He didn't beat Marty Scurll by pinning somebody else. He pinned Marty Scurll. That's the streak, several years long, several promotions wide, has ended. 3 turnkeys. Death, taxes, Marty Scurll beats Will Ospreay. And it finally ended. That is such a big moment, and amidst Jericho and Omega and everything else that happened, that moment has been undervalued, and that sucks.
It's finally a moment. Like I said, people don't estimate the value of Wrestle Kingdom. It's equivalent to Mania for them, and though this was basically Will Ospreay's, Mania moment, but Wrestle Kingdom moment. He ended a 14-year drought of pinning Marty Scurll, and he finally did it at Wrestle Kingdom. Not only to beat him, but to take home that IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Because when I thought Ospreay could win, sorry.
No, you can go.
When I thought Ospreay could win, I still didn't think he was going to do it by pinning Scurll. I thought he was going to win the title by pinning Tanahashi or Kushida, and then a single dream match. Marty Scurll beats the lot.
But you also have to consider one fact. I mean, as much as it's cool that he pinned Scurll and everything, I still feel it would have been much better if he actually did it in a one-on-one match. Because I can see them using that as a point for their feud going forward, since Scurll's going to have his shot to get the title back and everything. So I kind of feel like Scurll's going to blame his loss on everybody else being a factor.
Did that entrance from Scurll? Oh, fuck, that was so cool.
Oh yeah, no, that entrance was amazing. The wings,
oh man.
Marty Scurll winning. Great match overall. If I would have to rate it, actually no, I'm not even going to talk about ratings. I want to wait for the rating god to start doing the ratings for Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh god, you please tell me you don't actually mean that. So I have a feeling I know what you're talking about, and no, he is not.
Yes, he is the rating.
He does have a severe bias, and that ruins your credibility.
No, he does not.
But that being said, I do actually qualify this one 6 stars.
Well, we're gonna take a little quick break to get Malik's perspective because he's been kind of quiet this whole time.
Oh, sorry. I've been See, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have been waiting to watch New Japan by myself. I only seen clips and snippets because I do not own New Japan World, but I do like the information because as a fan.
If you want, I can give you my account.
Oh no, I don't like when people.
I already offered. You didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't want when people give me the account because it's just too much personal information. But I
Well,
like.
I'm deleting mine pretty soon, so that's why I was offering it. I was going to delete it
But
anyways.
like for me, when I hear wrestling and I want to get into it, I like the perspective as a fan and I like to be fan information. So like guys like Marty Squirrel, Trent Beretta, who give.
Hold on. You just said Marty Squirrel.
I said Squirrel. Oh wow, my apologies.
Marty Squirrel.
But you know what I mean. Like I like to hear these things, so I'm really excited. It really makes me want to be invested in New Japan. And what makes me like Jimmy the most is he keeps me updated with all wrestling besides WWE. So that is why I'm really excited because it's a new feeling to hear about different wrestling, and then just hearing the matches and hearing how you guys describe it. It makes me fall in love with wrestling, yeah. So that's why I really want to just. I'm quiet because I just want to hear it. I didn't watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I only seen the big spots like the Kota Ibushi and wait, that's it. Yeah, Kota Ibushi and Cody Rhodes, Jericho and Omega. Like I only seen those spots, so I can't really talk much about it. But for the New Japan, I like to give maybe like my opinion about some stuff I know about it. But I'm giving the whole floor to the guys who watch it, like Enigma, Youngblood, who stood up and watch it. I'm gonna watch it by myself on it probably after I watch NXT live tonight. But I will watch it and I will. Huh?
I didn't make it all the way.
You what?
I didn't make it up all the way.
This guy's a faker.
I fell asleep 10 minutes before Omega Jericho started.
Okay, now this guy needs to get off the podcast.
The only two matches I saw were the fucking Marty Scurll match and the Jericho match, so...
Yeah, but to be fair, I'm also one of the few people who tried to stay up and watch throughout it. The hardest thing for me to stay late for was during...
I honestly do have a confession to make, though. I wanted to watch it. It's just the fact that, like, literally right when I was about to because I don't usually watch pay-per-views live unless they're on the network. I usually just go back and rewatch them. But right when I was about to go back and rewatch the fucking pay-per-view and shit, because my power over here has been out for the past 2 whole fucking days, and it just came on like at 8 p.m. this evening. Damn. Shit. So I had to go, like, the only reason I saw the Marty Scurll match and the Jericho match was because I found links to them online and was able to watch them on my phone.
But I watched this. The moment I woke up, I watched the ending of Tanahashi and Jay White, and I watched the...
Oh, Malik, you said you were going to watch NXT?
Yes.
Don't bother, it's just a recap episode.
No. NXT in Charlotte.
They had NXT in Charlotte?
They're having it tonight.
Tonight.
The Brotherhood will be, attending. And quick thing, we're gonna make sure to spread the page. If Jimmy does not mind, or if Javi's still here, we don't mind. Just try to get the word out. I feel like this is our opportunity to help Real Talk get exposed with wrestling fans. So,
I don't remember if I told y'all, but I was spreading the word I was telling people about to check out our podcast at Takeover.
Yeah, speaking of fucking NXT and shit, is anybody actually going to fucking the event in Brooklyn?
Me and Jimmy and the boys are planning on seeing SummerSlam, Takeover, Raw,
Monday,
SmackDown.
Raw and SmackDown, like
Well,
4 days.
technically,
Because
205
I'll
Live
talk
too.
to you more about this after the podcast is over and shit, but I can pretty much confirm that I will be going to at least Takeover, possibly SummerSlam.
Oh. What I'm hearing is Reaper versus one of the Brotherhoods at SummerSlam, just to give that live action feel.
I mean, yeah, but I was just... Honestly, other than feuds and shit, I was just trying to figure out who all was going to fucking actually be there so we could actually plan doing this shit.
Oh, by the way, Hunter, stay up after the podcast. Uno with friends.
Alright. Well, 7th match of the night. It is for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, which was defended by Hiroshi Tanahashi, which is, if you guys don't know, the face of the franchise. He is the equivalent to the John Cena that you call. Hiroshi Tanahashi has been around for years, carried this company on his shoulders for a pretty long time. But he was facing off against, well, the New Japan newcomer, because my boy was back in Ring of Honor, but the Switchblade, Jay White.
I would argue a little bit that it's a split down the middle between.
Did he join the Bullet Club? Just not to interrupt.
And Jushin Thunder Liger.
Okay, but Thunder Liger is like, it's like...
Thunder Liger kind of takes precedent as the face of Japanese wrestling in general.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Japanese wrestling in general, because he's also wrestling, all that stuff.
When I think Japanese wrestling, that is my first thought.
Yeah. I mean, if anything,
That is crazy Asian guys beating the shit out of each other with light rods.
Yeah, Thunder Liger is more like the Hulk Hogan, if you want to like put it that way.
He's a racist?
Kind of. But Tanahashi is like the Cena. He's always carried the company on his shoulders, held every single mostly every single championship. But he had a great match against Jay White, especially coming back after a very severe leg injury.
Honestly, when it comes to I'm sorry to interrupt, but like Hunter said, he says Jushin Thunder Liger is who he thinks of when it comes to Japanese wrestling. Like, I can second that, but like Jimmy said, the dude that he said was like John Cena, and then Thunder Liger is like fucking Hogan or whatever. So, can we argue the fact that Okada would pretty much be the Rock of Japan?
So who would be the Austin?
No. Okada is the future, and for me, the only future we see in WWE is Seth Rollins.
What are you talking about? I'm the future.
Because it's beautiful?
Exactly.
When you think of the future of New Japan, you think Kenny, you think Okada, you think Naito. Even though Naito's been around for a while, I mean, for just a little bit longer, I mean, he was very underrated, and now he's a star. So, same thing how you think about the future.
He's not just any star. He's an indie star.
Hey. That is me and Jimmy's thing. Do not steal our gimmicks.
You mean you and Luigi's?
Well, technically, I gave Jimmy permission to use the indie star. But yes, it's...
Yeah, Malik, I don't need your permission for shit.
Oh, wow. God dang. That was kind of hurtful right there.
But, yeah, no.
Last time I didn't need information, this girl charged me with rape. It was like a bad day.
Wait, what?
The match was really good. Jay White held his own for being a rookie, especially against, face of the franchise, Tanahashi, the Iron Man Tanahashi, headlining his fucking... Well, I mean, he would have been headlining, but, the newly IWGP United States Championship took that spot. But, Tanahashi has been headlining freaking January 4th event in Japan ever since I can fucking remember. And he did good against the rookie versus legend, in my opinion, and it was a great match. Tanahashi came out on top, though, and
agree with that.
The future looks really, really bright for Jay White, and Tanahashi has not lost a step at all.
I don't
Which
that at all.
Which brings us to the 8th match, and the match that, in my opinion, probably everybody talked about. The no disqualification match for the new IWGP United States Championship. Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. Hyped as hell. And I'm just going to be the first one to say it here.
Did it deliver?
No, it delivered, and I'm just going to say it right here. Chris Jericho's best match ever.
Really?
No.
Best match in his career.
Actually,
No.
I really have to agree with that.
Really? Well, I only saw snippets. I agree. It was
I
probably
sent the whole match in the chat. Why didn't you watch it?
I was at work.
That's no excuse.
Dude, I don't want to get fired.
Best
Dude,
Chris Jericho match ever.
Are you
Nah.
literally telling us and the subscribers that your work is more important than wrestling?
Yeah.
Well, it
Our
is.
patriarch is a lie.
Hey, I love wrestling. I love the podcast. I love our viewers. And for Sean's sake, our 5 viewers, just for you, buddy. I do kind of want to keep the job.
So that 6th guy that just started watching.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't love you yet.
Look, Malik, if you want a job, I can arrange that at Elimination Chamber.
oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh! Ooh.
That was great.
That was. Woo!
Fire.
That okay.
Yeah, no, definitely, like I said, best Chris Jericho match ever.
All right, but why would you say that though? I need to know. What, as a fan who didn't see this match yet, what makes it better than all his matches? Like, there's matches with Shawn Michaels at Mania. There's a ladder match with Shawn. I mean, there's a lot of.
I'm gonna say just one word, and it will change everything. Limitations. You did not have the limitations that WWE has on its superstars when it comes to making a match. You had Chris Jericho at his 180%, 190%, 200% talent in this match.
Well, in fairness, Jimmy, you could make the argument with anybody in WWE that because of WWE, they're very limited. For like someone like AJ Styles, I say well, not AJ, because I feel like every match he is literally, no pun intended, phenomenal. But guys like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they get limited. But I feel like if you can't, what if someone says that if you can't put a good match in with being limited, like have the limitations, does that make you a bad worker or what?
Well, it's not that it makes you a bad worker. It just means you're working for. I mean, like I said, I know everybody's like, oh, indie guy, but it's not the worker. It's the company the worker works for.
So are you saying like someone like Jinder Mahal would strive better in New Japan?
Ladder match with Shawn. I believe Unforgiven.
No. Look at this. And I'm gonna go back to this. Trent Beretta. What the fuck did he do in WWE?
He did nothing. He was a jobber.
Actually, a great point for as to why he wasn't so great. Sometimes you just need to mature, because he was super young and he needed time to mature.
And the Indies hit him like a bitch. He matured, and look at him now, gold. Another person that I want to say is Cody Rhodes.
Okay, I heard reports that Cody Rhodes' best match since leaving WWE was his match with Ibushi. So he's had good matches.
I mean, the one against Jay Lethal was really great on its own.
All right, Jay Lethal is just a phenomenal worker. We can't lie about that. And yes, there's a joke about not being a fan of the black people, but Jay Lethal is probably phenomenal. And
He's like for the purpose of this podcast, we're gonna make him an honorary white guy.
You had everything you wanted in a match. You had, well, I mean, it wasn't like complete violence, but you had Jericho smashing Kenny's face into a fucking chair over and over again. The fight went out to the outside. You know, he freaking. I mean, I don't know if you care about spoilers.
Beat up the young boys.
You know, but Jericho, you know, freaking pushed the referee, put his son in a fucking, put the referee's son in a fucking walls of Jericho.
Okay, I want to. This is one thing that does take away from the match. In fact, the commentary taking away from the match. He put on the Lion Tamer a couple times, and they didn't. They called it the walls. There's a distinct difference in between the moves.
Yeah, there is.
Honestly, I want to say probably my favorite part of the whole entire match.
I love the finish.
The finish was good, but my favorite part of the whole entire match came like right before the finish when fucking Jericho did the fucking running code breaker. That's probably the most vicious code breaker I've seen him hit in a while.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a mid-air connected with the underjaw of Kenny. It looked fucking vicious as shit. At the angle it was fucking perfect.
Was when he hit the, I believe it's called Angel's Wing.
The one-winged angel.
One-winged angel, that's it. I knew there's angel and wing in it, and I'm like, that's it, it's over. What a great match. And then Jericho grabbed the rope, and suddenly it's back in.
In my opinion, what would have made that match incredible for me is if he would have put the fucking pinky on the rope just like Owens did, just to like throw a little bit of shade. It would have been perfect for me, but no, the match was great. Jericho freaking it did wonders, and just knowing that he's not done with New Japan brings an actual
Hey, spoiler, we're not that far yet.
Oh, come on,
I'm
man.
spoiling it. Who cares?
Now, a question that needs to be addressed. How do you guys feel that Jericho paid tribute to Eddie and Benoit?
Great.
I mean,
I have no problem with it. I think it's awesome.
I mean, you take somebody who Jericho, Eddie, Benoit. They cut their teeth in Japan together. As those three cut their teeth together, for him not to dedicate his match back, honestly, would have been a shame.
Yeah, but yeah, he honored those, you know, two legends that are, you know, of course, no longer with us, and just to put on, even though he lost, I mean, who cares if you lost? I mean, Kenny has showed that. He lost to Okada not once, but twice, but he put on a hell.
And since it was a title match, I consider if you don't win the title, even though it's technically a draw, he didn't beat Okada, so you might as well call it 3.
I mean, if anything, 1-1-1. He lost one, they tied one, and he won the last one, but it wasn't for the belt. But, yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a match, hell of a performance. The crowd was super fucking into it. You had Jericho flicking off all of the people.
You had the crowd chanting. The crowd, Japan, for those who don't know Japanese wrestling, there is no chanting in Japan. Drew Gulak would fucking love it.
Yeah, there is no chanting, you know, it's not like WWE where you have people, you know, yelling out random bullshit. You have, you know...
You get them to chant, something is going on serious, because it's silent as can be. It typically is out of respect. And it's what, I personally, I don't like a silent crowd, but if it's Japanese wrestling, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Like the entrances, you know, are not like all flashy and stuff, and pyro. I mean, it's respectable because at the end of the day, for wrestling in Japan is a freaking. It's not like an honor, but it's, It's very prestigious. It's it's a sport that they help in, and for them it's really respectful. No chanting. I mean, yeah, you can cheer when the person's coming out, record, but no, celebrate when it's done. But as far as like chanting and just doing stuff, no. And like Hunter said, I mean, just the fact that Jericho got them to chant and to cheer halfway through the match, something magical was happening in that ring, and it was amazing.
I want to go away from New Japan for a minute because I was thinking about chants, and there's a chant that happens in almost every promotion, Japan excluding because of all the reasons we just stated, and that's you chant the initials of the company. You have TNA, ROH, ECW, HOH, NXT. There's one chant that I've never once heard. No one ever chants WWE. You could say that's because they're not that good, but there's definitely been times in which WWE has been that good.
You know what?
There's never been that.
That's actually an interesting fact. I never heard of WWE chant.
I mean, it's just. I mean, I feel it's because it's just like it just sounds weird,
I mean, how would like WWE? WWE. I mean,
yeah, but if you say like
WWE, because you don't say W in a chant, you just say
yeah,
dub.
but I mean, but it's just like two dubs consecutively just doesn't. It's not like good for the mouth.
By the way, Jimmy, do you watch HOH?
House of Hardcore.
Yeah. That's my favorite independent promotion.
Yeah, no, I haven't been keeping up.
I'm still hoping for an answer as to why Shane did that. For those who, I mean, I was one of those few moments which I truly got lost into the show, and I'm screaming hatred at him, and like, when you get me lost into the story where I'm genuinely hating the guy, that's always this magical moment.
I don't know if Hunter, you don't want to hear the spoilers. I guess, I mean, if you want to like go away for a little bit.
Oh no, actually, I wasn't really caring. I was just messing around.
Okay.
Yeah, did Kenny Omega recruit that guy? Did he join?
Alright, yeah. So two major spoilers going on forward post Kingdom. Even though I'm not done with it yet, I'll take care of the last match afterwards. But with the New Year's bash, which is after Kingdom,
it's like the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, the Raw after Mania. Kenny Omega, after his match, called out Jay White and offered him a chance, a shot to be in the Bullet Club. He offered him the spot. He brought out a shirt. Jay White came inside the ring, put on the shirt. They hugged, and then Jay White laid Kenny Omega. Jay White quickly left the ring as Chase Owens and the Pimp came out to defend Kenny, and Jay White took the shirt and threw it right back at them. So hopefully we'll see a feud between, I guess it will be Kenny and Jay going on forward for the U.S. Championship.
I think it's going to be a
both American.
The Bullet Club versus Jay White, because it's more than just a bit against Kenny. It's a bit against the entire Bullet Club.
Yeah, I feel like Jay White eventually will join the Bullet Club. Eventually, he seems to fit the role. But yet again, Jay White is a one-man army. He's a.
I love this Switchblade character that he pulled out, though.
Oh yeah, Switchblade is freaking amazing.
Like,
and now the second.
Kelly said it best. Jay White represented everything that was good in wrestling, and Switchblade represents everything dark about it.
That's true. But yeah, and then the second spoiler, as the end of the night concluded, you see Tetsuya Naito standing in the ring, and then you see Chris Jericho run out of nowhere and blindside him real quick. They get into a little feud. Jericho gets knocked out a bit. A few people come out to split them apart, and just like that, pretty much, I guess the next match confirmed will be Jericho versus Naito, which is two cocky, arrogant people that are probably bound to put a hell of a match. And I'm assuming whoever wins will face Kazuchika again. That's the only thing that I can. I guess, the winner of Naito versus Jericho will face Okada for the.
Oh, sorry, I don't recognize the verse names.
Yeah, so I'm assuming Jericho versus Naito will headline. I think it would probably be Dominion is probably their next pay-per-view. And then to end off the night for Wrestle Kingdom 12 is, of course, the most prestigious championship in all of pro wrestling, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship between Kazuchika Okada and Tetsuya Naito. Which, in my opinion, it was a hell of a match, really great match. The ending was kind of, I feel like they could have taken more notes from Omega and Okada, but really great match. To end off the night, of course, Okada reigning victorious. Naito got really close as he connected with the Despino, but yeah, try to put him into the hold, and Okada just countered into a tombstone pile driver, better than Undertaker.
Ooh, okay.
And Okada, of course, hitting the Rainmaker to defend and successfully defend the World Championship.
Okay, question. There's been reports saying that people are really upset that Okada retained the world title. They felt like Naito should have won it. Your thoughts on that?
Naito, in my opinion, should have won it. But I guess now with this whole angle that they're doing with Jericho, it really wouldn't be too bad because Naito and Jericho are kind of the same if you look at their characters. So I feel like they want to do that first before they get Naito back the championship, because between both Wrestle Kingdom 11 and 12, Naito did win the World Championship, but then Okada won it back. And and then that forced Naito to go back into the tournament to win the chance to face them at Kingdom again.
Hey, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
When is the Super Junior tournament?
Huh?
You know New Japan stuff more than I do, because I'm just getting into it. When is the Super Junior tournament?
Super Juniors tournament doesn't start until, I think, G1 Climax.
So it starts, when's that? As I said, I'm just really getting into it last year.
Well, G1 Climax is not like a pay-per-view. Well, I mean, the conclusion is a pay-per-view, but
yeah, I know,
G1 is basically it's a long series of tournaments and matches. It starts. I don't think the Super Juniors per se starts in February. I know G1 starts in February, but I think that one might start like around probably June or July.
The junior heavyweight division in New Japan, that if you want to know how to make the cruiserweight division better in WWE, you look at the junior heavyweight.
Just imagine this. This is what I think we could have had in cruiserweights. We could, if somehow Neville was to return, we could have Neville versus Ricochet, and that just makes my fucking penis want to burst.
Okay.
Hey, I think about an amazing match, and it makes my balls tingle.
Alrighty then.
I'm just gonna be honest here, and you might be about to put this feud on fire, but Ricochet's overrated.
Whoa.
All right. So, guys, it's been a great podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. We don't tolerate stupidity. Me and and Malik are gonna talk about releases, upcoming releases.
Yeah, the Real Talk releases, WWE have their yearly ones. I think Real Talk needs
Yeah,
that.
like spoiler alert and everything, but this is the reason why I'm considering breaking up with my partner, because he's a fucking idiot.
You guys know February.
Because you caught me with your sister.
February is when people have to renew their contracts. So I'm assuming me and Malik really have to
I don't
pay
know.
more attention.
He just is. He's nowhere near as good. He's good. I'll give you that. But he's nowhere near as good as people make him out to be.
Okay. I'm not a
You know,
huge.
that's
All right,
exactly how
listen.
I feel about Booty Gods.
All right,
You know?
I'm not a huge indie mark, but I have to say Ricochet is amazing. That's
Prince Puma, Ricochet, King Ricochet.
Yeah, like
Really?
honestly, I'm not trying to be funny, but I think you lost some points there. I honestly think you should be stripped away from your number one contender spot for the world title and your rematch for the world title and your rematch for the tag titles. I think those should be stripped ASAP. Like they need to be stripped now.
Hey. Don't bring me into this.
Reaper,
We'll wants his tag team title rematch.
We'll find you a new partner. You could team with Prodigy.
I'm pretty sure he still wants to win, though.
Okay,
I kind of want to win. No offense to Prodigy. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Fuck Prodigy.
Total offense to Prodigy from my end.
All right, you can team with Maverick.
Yeah. How about that?
Okay,
Yeah.
you can team with Sean Christopher Bradley.
Look, can I just team with myself and
You know what? Yeah,
Hey.
Reaper. You can team up with anyone but Youngblood, because Youngblood is officially he lost his privileges, and I think.
Okay, I have a new tag partner now. His name is Old Blood the Hideous.
This man said he was overrated. I can't believe this man said that. I honestly don't know if we should end the podcast off like that.
Give him a few years. He might mature. Right now, he's
few years.
He's immature. And
Wait.
Yeah, that
Wait,
has been.
Okay, no. Hold on. Before you end it off, Jimmy. Yeah, Hunter just said Ricochet was immature. This coming from the guy who goes around acting like a whore in the podcast, sleeps with anything with 2 legs.
hey, that's not true. I did a paraplegic once.
You're a sick man.
So, once again, this has been.
You know what this is all about? I'm still bitter about Emma.
This has been the Real Talk Wrestling Podcast.
You hear me? I'm still bitter about Emma.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Okay.
Maybe we won't.
Thank you for enjoying our
indie review.
Ooh, yes. Thank you for enjoying.
If anybody's wondering about Hunter's logic about having sex with a paraplegic, although wrong, and while we do not support this concept, just remember,
Anything with a hole, right?
yeah, and they can't run away.
Okay.
This has been Real Talk Wrestling Podcast. Thank you very much.
We hope you enjoyed the Enigma Hour. We hope you enjoy it. Please give us a like, share, comment. We love doing these episodes with you guys, so please help us out, help us grow, help us be the next big thing. And we'll see you on the next